Gonna do the throne room now. This is where all the action happens. Amazing, actually. Everybody that is born and has walked the earth spends a lot of time in here, in the throne room. I've actually written an excellent poem about the throne room, and I do believe a lot of wisdom can come out of this place, and a whole lot of shit as well. Now, this thing about retirement, you know what? Retirement's about what, 65? You get to 65. Have you seen what people that are 65 look like, man, in retirement? Most of them, if they've survived marriages, families and mortgages and all the other stuff, are pretty bored with life, pretty bored with each other as well. Now, what they do over here in Australia is they cash up, some of them, and some of them even spend the legacy. You know, they think, why should we give our money, pass our money on to kids that aren't deserving? It cause you nothing but shit all your life. So they spend the legacy. Others cash up some and they buy a big road bus, Winnebago, with all the modern stuff in it, and they travel the coast, which I reckon's a bloody good idea actually. But I'd rather do that at 20, and in fact I'd rather do that all my life. And just work enough to make enough to cover the petrol and the food and whatever, and just enjoy a few sunsets, a few sunrises and whatever. And just, when you get bored with the place, just move on somewhere else, you know. Well, we don't seem to do that, do we? We spend our lives doing shit like this, and then when we retire we get sick. You know, we're already sick of life, then we get physically sick. Why? Because you've lived in a stress-loaded life all your life. Lack of exercise and whatever. And then suddenly, when it's time to retire, your body gives up on you. Most of us don't realise how important our health is until we don't have good health. See, I'm pretty sure life was not meant to be like that. Even the biblical version of the beginning of time was Adam and Eve naked in the Garden of Eden, which was a beautiful place. Birds singing, fruit all around the place, waterfalls, whatever, you know. We spend all our lives trying to get back to the Garden of Eden. And you know what? We never bloody get there. Never get there, man. We're very lucky if we do. Because we've used up the most precious resource we have, which is our time. And we've got old, grumpy, and hardened. We got hardened by life. Sad business when that happens. We all question what the hell we're doing here. What are we doing here? Was it just a big bang in the universe at some time that threw some matter on this place and suddenly a certain a few chroma cells got together and created a dinosaur. And tell you what, the computer or a car, somebody dropped a car in my yard, a brand new 4-wheel drive. If I were to say that 4-wheel drive, as complicated as it is, just made itself, you would say I was mad. Now I tell you what, this world and this life and my body is more complicated than that 4-wheel drive. So you got to start thinking, man. We've got to start figuring it out. We've got to start figuring it out. The world system says, hey, make something of yourself. Get a mortgage, get married, have children, buy a car, have a career. Burble, 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 burble. But all we want to do is take the woman we love or the man we love into the bush and live with nothing on and not work and just have fun together. That seems to be the dream of a lot of people, to find some peace and purpose. But instead we get bombarded with flippin' ads that say you've got to have a new TV, you've got to have a bigger one, you've got to have a bigger car, you've got to have a bigger house, you've got to have this, you've got to have that, you've got to go and get a boob job, you've got to get a facelift, you've got to blah 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 blah. And we're so concerned with how we look. You know, how's that? Who gives us stuff, man? Bodies grow old, skin gets old. Why do we want to be admired so much? You know, there's a few thoughts like that. A few thoughts that actually happen when you're in the throne room. You know? A lot of our lives are worth no more than that blooming toilet paper we go and throw down the toilet. And those are the good ones. There are people a lot worse off than us who have a job to do and a purpose and are earning some money so we can buy stuff. There are people that aren't even doing that, not even getting food to eat. Life expectancy is a lot less than what ours is. The kids not even getting to teenage. Do we give a stuff about that? Most of the time we're too busy to, you see. We fill ourselves up with garbage, junk. Well, a microwave system. Everything's got to be done now. We've got to have MP3 in our ear hole. We've got to have the stereo going in the car. We've got to make it sound noisy. We've got to have the phone going. We've got to be talking on the cell phone. We've got to be on the computer chatting. We're so busy wasting our time. We need to slow down. We need to slow down and start thinking. We need to look up at the sky in the middle of the night one night and just think about it for a while. Look at a sunset. Look at a sunrise. Appreciate a bit of time off. We need to think a little bit more about what the hell we're doing here. Otherwise we're just wasting our time.